Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about a recent decision of the Supreme Court delivered on 24th July 2025, which has elicited a lot of interesting debate and discussion amongst tax professionals, particularly those practicing international tax. This decision is the decision of Hyatt South Asia Limited versus Additional Director of International Tax. And this decision deals with the concept of what is called a PE. PE means permanent establishment in tax terms, not private equity, not physical education. The Supreme Court, while deciding whether the Dubai company, which was the taxpayer in this case, had a PE in India or not, laid down some very important tests. The Supreme Court said that there were three things which were important for the constitution of a permanent establishment. Number one, that there was a place of business. Number two, that there was a right to disposal as far as that place of business was concerned, as far as the non-resident goes. And that meant that you need not own the place of business, but you have the right to access that place of business wherever you want. The third and the most important thing was that the business of the non-resident should be carried on from that place. And these are the normal indicators of a permanent establishment. However, in the facts of this case, the facts were that the non-resident had entered into a Strategic Oversight Services Agreement or SOSA with a third-party Indian property owner who owned the hotel property. And the SOSA basically was entered into to ensure that the standards of the Hyatt Group were met as far as the properties in India were concerned. Now, on facts, there was control as per the Supreme Court on every aspect, which was strategic, operational as well as financial dimensions. And that control, according to the Supreme Court, was pervasive and complete control. And therefore, the Supreme Court decided that a permanent establishment existed as far as the Dubai company was concerned. The important thing that one has to note is that traditionally one always thinks that there has to be a earmarked designated place for a fixed place PE to be constituted. But the Supreme Court has diluted this concept. The Supreme Court said that so long as there is a place of business, the right to disposal exists as far as that place is concerned, which means that you have control over the operations of that business. Then there is a fixed place permanent establishment that needs to be constituted. Now, if we look at the Supreme Court decision, it is a decision which is rendered on the facts of its case. However, as far as hospitality is concerned, one would presume that the agreements may probably be worded similarly, if not identically. And therefore, one will have to, when negotiating agreements as far as franchises or as far as strategic oversight is concerned, be very careful in terms of what is the kind of operational and management control that the non-resident is to be given under that agreement. Because it is not only the legal form of the agreement that has to be looked at. As per the Supreme Court, the actual conduct of the employees of that non-resident also will have to be looked at. And on facts again, in this case, the Supreme Court came to a conclusion that the employees did exercise the all-pervasive control. And therefore, one will have to be very careful to analyze and to document very clearly what the non-resident is actually doing. The other important thing was that the duration of the agreement was 20 years. And the method of remunerating the Dubai company in this case was a proportion of the room rent that would be collected by the hotel owner. And therefore, again, one will have to look at whether such an agreement for such a long duration, which would probably be normal as far as hospitality industries are concerned, and the remuneration being a percentage of the room rent collected, would sway the facts as far as the constitution of the PE is concerned. Because one would believe that in a pure advisory sort of an arrangement, the typical mode of remuneration would always be a fixed fee. And somewhere this seems to have influenced the Supreme Court in a manner to decide the constitution or otherwise of a permanent establishment. So therefore, one would have to be very careful as far as looking at what sort of agreements are entered into between a non-resident and a resident, and what is the degree of operational, strategic and financial control that the agreement and the actual conduct of the non-resident demonstrate. Because if the proverbial line is crossed and one does not know what that proverbial line is, the proverbial line according to the Supreme Court is that the control in this situation in the facts of Hyatt's case was all pervasive. And if the all pervasive control does exist, then one would have to look at the constitution of a permanent establishment. The last thing that I would want to talk about here is that the Supreme Court also upheld the decision of the Delhi High Court to say that even if the non-resident is incurring losses globally, as far as the Indian activities are concerned, if the Indian activities do require an attribution of profit, then that profit has to be attributed. So this is a decision which will be debated strongly, which will be discussed threadbare, and one will have to be very careful when structuring the arrangements between non-residents and residents. With that, let me take your leave today. Thank you very much.